Yo, what up guys? This is your boy here, Judo Yuki, giving you another Arc 5 deck profile. As you can see here, this is the Yudo mat, so we're going to be doing Yudo's character deck right now. So yeah, let's just begin. So, there's not much in Yudo's deck. Obviously, it wasn't completed. It wasn't even close to halfway completed, actually. So, there's not much I was able to do, so I was added certain copies of certain cards, and then added cards outside of the archetype and deck itself to help move the deck along and make it work the way it's intended to work. So I made some liberties. I'll explain my changes. I'll go through the cards first, and then from there I'll just explain everything I need to explain. But yeah, okay, so first we're gonna start off with the monsters. Like I said, there's not very many monsters that he used, and I didn't want to add like 3 copies of every. He only used 3 monsters. Even if you had 3 copies of it, it's not gonna be a lot anyway. It's only gonna be 9 cards, and I didn't want to add just 3 of each. But obviously you could do whatever you want. Before I start the deck profile, I do want to tell you guys that you guys can kind of build this. I'm giving you a structure of how I decided to build it, how I wanted to build it, I guess. Based on a character deck and how I feel it should be built and stuff. But he doesn't have a complete deck at all, so like you guys could mess around with it and do whatever you want with it. I'm not going to tell you guys this is the best way on how to build Yudo's deck. This is how I built it, how I felt it works best and stuff. But you can change it however you want. If you want to add copies of his monsters, 3 of each, that's completely up to you. I'm not going to tell you not to do it because he doesn't have a complete deck and there's no structure for his deck. You kind of have to bend the rules and do your own stuff to make it. So do whatever you want with that. I'm not going to complain about it because like there's nothing I can do. He died early off in the series and he didn't get many appearances. So yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna start off with the monsters. So I have 2 the Phantom Knight's Ancient Cloaks. I added 2 of those. I did not want 3. I added 2 Silent Boots. Really good card. These are just the perfect combo to go into your Break Sword and then go into Dark Rebellion. I love those. And then we got 2 Fragile Armors. He did not use this in the anime, but they're just Phantom Knights cards that were, that are out there. So I had to add other Phantom Knight cards that were not used in the anime here. I had to do it in order to like fill in more space. So I added 2 of those. Pretty cool effect. He special summons himself when a Phantom Knight is destroyed and stuff. So I added 2 of that. I added 1 Ragged Gloves. To be honest, I took 1 out just because I wanted to make room for some other stuff. But I think 2 in the deck is a lot better. So try to find room to add a second one because he's just really good. He really just helps out the deck a lot, I feel. And then we got the Phantom Knights of Gloven Helm. Yeah, I think this is one from the manga, and I think Fragile Armor is also from the manga. So, if more Phantom Knight monsters come out from the manga, I may just add that in this deck profile and just mix it together because they have the same archetype, but the only difference is for the anime, I would only run the Dark Rebellion version from the anime in this deck, and then the manga version I'll run in a manga style deck. But I wouldn't run both because I feel like that would just be complete cheating. I still have some rules that I like to follow. And then finally, I added Armageddon Knight. This is not a part of his deck. He did not use this, but it is a Dark Warrior monster, just like the rest of his deck is Dark Warriors. And I like the picture. I feel like it fits with him. He has like a red scarf, and Yudo also has a red scarf, I believe. Yeah, he does. And his effect works good because it just dumps a dark monster from your deck to the graveyard, which is good because then you can banish your Phantom Knight monsters from the graveyard to activate their effect. So he's really good. Then I added Necro Gardener just because, once again, dark, level 3 warrior monster, fits with the archetype well, and he banishes himself to negate an attack, and that could come in handy. And that's pretty much it for the monsters. Like I said, add an extra Ragged Gloves. I think that would be really helpful. And if you like I said, if you want to add 3 copies of all of these Phantom Knights, it's all up to you. I'm not going to say no. We're going to move on to the traps now, or what I like to say, the trap monsters. So like I said, he doesn't have a lot of monsters, but he did have a lot of trap monsters. Traps, when they activate, become monsters on the field. So that's why he doesn't have a lot of monsters. He runs a lot of spells and traps usually. So it's kind of interesting. I actually really like that. It's very different from other character decks. So I actually have a lot of fun with it. Anyway, so I have 1, the Phantom Knight's Shadow Veil. He has 3 of these in the show. I only added 1 because I felt like adding 3 was kind of unnecessary, and like they special summon themselves when you get a direct attack. But I felt like I needed other cards that helped me out during other situations, and adding 3 of that just didn't feel necessary for me. So yeah, 1 Shadow Veil. Then we got a Wrong Magnet. This card is really good. It negates an attack, and then it special summons itself an attack. It has a level 2 monster, and then you could go for your rank 2 and stuff. And he's a draw card. You could send this card to the graveyard with another Phantom Knight card and just draw 2 cards, so he's really good. I would add 2 of him also. I didn't add it in this deck, but he's just really good. I think it's really good to add 2 of that. And then we got 2 Lost Vanbrons. He actually had 2 of these in the anime, which is why I added 2. And these are pretty good cards too. It helps protect your Phantom Knight monsters from battle, and I think decrease the attack of one of your monsters or any monster on the field. And then it special summons itself, and then yeah, you could use it for Xyz. These are also level 2 monsters when they're summoned on the field. So that's for your rank 2. And then we have the Phantom Knight cards that were used, I believe, in the manga or just came out in different packs. So we got the Phantom Knights of Tomb Shield. I have 1 of that. Shade Brigade, another 1 of that. I got, and these 2, let me check. Shade Brigade turns into a level 4 Dark Warrior type, and then Tomb Shield turns into a level 3. So you know, you could go for Dark Rebellion or the other one. What was his name? Break Sword. Yeah. And then we got the Phantom Knights of Dark Gauntlets. It looks like a really cool card. Its second effect is not nearly as common because it requires you to get a direct attack while you have no cards on the field. So it's kind of a last minute situation type of card. So it's okay. It's not that bad. I mean, its first effect is better because you get to send Phantom Knight spell or trap card from the deck to the graveyard, which is good because then you could banish it to special summon another Phantom Knight from the graveyard and stuff. So it's good, but you know, if you want to take it out, it's up to you. But it's kind of situational, the secondary effect. The first effect is good though. Got the Phantom Knights of Mist Claws. I don't have this card. This is a proxy. As you can tell, it's a paper proxy. And this card is pretty good. Target one of your banished Phantom Knight monsters and add it to your hand, so you could recycle one of your banished ones, which is pretty good. That helps out a lot. I wish it also did Phantom Knight spells and traps, but it doesn't. But it's still good. This is also for when you get attacked directly. You special summon level 4 or lower, then special summon this card, and then you know you can overlay. They're both level 4s and blah blah blah. So yeah. Pretty good card. Then we got the Phantom Knight Sword, so that's the end of the monster lineup, and now we come to the other Phantom Knights cards. Phantom Knight Sword, target any face-up monster gains 800 attack points, and it can be destroyed by battle or card effects. Well, it could, but then this would die instead. Then we got Fog Blade. This is like your Fiendish Chain of the deck. Really powerful card, really great. And then we got the Phantom Knight's Wing, the same thing as Phantom Knight's Sword. It, you know, increases your attack and protects you from battle or card effects. So it's very defensive. Getting rid of Dark Rebellion with Wing or even Sword will be difficult. Then we got Booby Trap E, which Yudo used in the anime. Discard one card, set a continuous trap card from your hand or graveyard to the field. We got Call of the Haunted. I added that because it's a generically good card. You bring it back, you bring Dark Rebellion back, and then you can rank it up. And then we got Escape from the Dark Dimension. Special summon a banished dark monster. You're going to be banishing a lot in this deck, so that might come in handy for Xyz plays and whatnot. And then the final card, this is a Yuma trap card, and I added it in this deck because Yudo doesn't have any cards to protect himself from battle damage or effect damage. So I wanted to add at least one card that protected against effect damage, and Damage Reactor, which is a Yuma card, like I said, is a really good card. If you would take damage from a card effect, that damage becomes 0, then one face-up monster you control gains 800 attack. So if Dark Rebellion's on the field, you take effect damage, it becomes 0, and then Dark Rebellion will gain 800. I felt that worked well with the playstyle of Yudo's deck, which is like powering up Dark Rebellion even more to OTK, so I felt like it really worked well with the deck, and you know, it gives you at least one option, you know, so that you won't take a lot of effect damage. So it's really good. Anyway, let's move on to the spell cards. We got the Phantom Knight Spear, really great card. Send this card to the graveyard as soon as possible. Then we got Phantom Knights of Around Bound. It's a burn card. Banish Phantom Knight monsters from your graveyard to destroy as many monsters on the field. And then It ends the battle phase and it does some burn damage. You guys can look it up on Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Wikia. I'm gonna move up a little faster now. We got the Phantom Knights. Yeah, sorry for the picture. Like the full picture never showed, and it looks awkward, I know. But this is rank up Magic Burial of the Phantom Knights. Target a Phantom Knight Xyz monster and then rank it up by 2 ranks. This card has not been created yet in the OCG or TCG, so you know when it comes out, this could be really helpful if it ever comes out. I hope they do. It's a really good card. It ranks up by 2, like I said. Then we got the rank up, the Phantom Knights rank up Magic launch. You use this to go for Requiem, and Requiem is really broken. And this only works if you have a target an Xyz monster during your main phase with no Xyz material. So yeah, we got that. Emergency Provisions, he had this in the anime. This is important because you'll have so many spells and traps in this deck that you'll have a full back row. So having this face down set, you know, is good because you could send all of them to the graveyard, gain life points, and then you could trigger off their effects in the graveyard, banish them to, you know, do other stuff. So it's really good. It really saves you. We got Monster Reborn, Reinforcement of the Army. Obviously it's a warrior deck, so you gotta search for that. You got Foolish Burial, really good card obviously for this deck because you send your monsters to the graveyard, so once again you banish them to trigger off their effect. Then we got Foolish Burial of Belongings, the other new Foolish Burial. This card sends 1 spell or trap card from your deck to the graveyard, so that's good. You could send your Fog Blade or Sword or the other one, banish it, special summon a Phantom Knight from your graveyard. So this sets up, I added that because it sets up the play of the deck really well. It works with the play style of the deck, obviously. We got Parallel Twister. I didn't want to add the generic MST or some other stuff. I wanted to do something different, so send 1 spell trap card you control to the graveyard, target 1 card on the field and destroy it. So that's good if you have a clogged back row. You know, get rid of 1 of them and trigger off their effect, and then pops any card on the field, which is good. Pot of Acquisitiveness, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's like another burial from a different dimension. Banish, target 3 banished monsters, shuffle it into the deck, and then draw 1 card. So you'll be banishing a lot, so this will come in handy. Then we got some other anime cards, Xyz related spell cards that I wanted to add to this deck. We got Xyz Treasure. This is from the Zale anime. I added it in here because, you know, he's gonna need it. So you draw 1 card for each Xyz monster on the field. So if you're battling an Xyz user, you'll draw a lot of cards, and you're gonna need a lot of draw cards for this deck because to get out the plays it can be difficult at times. And then we got Re-Xyz, another card that Yuma used that basically is a Monster Reborn, but for Xyz monsters. Special summon an Xyz monster from your graveyard and then attach the materials that were originally used for that monster from the graveyard to that monster. So it brings back the Xyz monster with all of its materials back, which is really powerful. So I added that in there because it really helps out the deck. And then we got Overlay Flash, a quick play anime spell card. Target a face-up Xyz monster you control that has an Xyz material. Detach a material from this card. Negate the effects of 1 monster your opponent control. And then when that Xyz monster leaves the field, this effect is no longer applied. So it's like a effect failure. You detach an overlay unit, negate a monster effect. They'll come in handy, trust me. And then Banish Reactor, another quick play. When a monster in your possession is banished, add a spell card from your graveyard to your hand. Another anime card that's really powerful. You'll be banishing a lot in this deck, so that's going to come in handy. So yeah, that's the spells, traps, and monsters in the deck. And then we got the extra deck, which is a Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, Dark Requiem Xyz Dragon, its rank up form, the Phantom Knights of Break Sword. I don't have the real card yet, it got reprinted, so I have to buy it. Then we got the Phantom Knights of Cursed Javelin, really powerful card. Definitely. It negates an effect and drops your attack completely to 0 for that turn. And it's a quick effect during either player's turn, so it's really powerful. It's only 16 attack, but with an effect that strong, who cares? So yeah, that's pretty much the deck for you guys. Like I said, you guys can do whatever you want with this deck. You don't have to follow this exact build because, like I said, there's no rules. He doesn't have a complete deck. You can do whatever you want. This is just how I decided to build it. And if you guys want to try it out, it's a good build. It's very fun. Like I said, add 2 of that Ragged Gloves and maybe 2 of the Wrong Magnet, and you'll be fine. I think those cards are really good, and you can mess around with it until you find the right balance that you like, because there's no rules. This is still a 40 card deck though. I still kept it 40. And one more thing before I go, I have a couple other cards here that for the side deck that I want you guys to add: Lord Darkness, the Warrior Returning Alive, Burial from a Different Dimension, the Phantom Knight's Double Blade, one of his anime cards, the Phantom Knight's Possession, another Shadow Veil, and another copy of Shadow Veil. Shade Brigade, Xyz Reborn is decently good, although it's not as good because it's better to bring back Dark Rebellion without a unit, so that way you could rank him up. And then another, like I said, Ragged Builds that I want you guys to add. Then these two anime cards, Energy Extractor. Its effect is target one face-up Xyz monster you control that has no Xyz materials. So again, it's better to use Monster Reborn Call the Haunted. Attach this card and one set card your opponent controls to that target, and then you cannot normal or special summon in a turn you activate this effect. So really good card. Xyz Revival, it's like another premature burial, but for Xyz monsters you don't have to pay any life points. It's the same thing. And like I said, just add these cards. These are on the side deck. I'll put it in the description. Sorry, my batteries are about to run out, so I can't explain each option carefully. So just look in the description for the side cards, and then like I said, have fun with this deck. And yeah, that's the deck for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. God bless you guys. Thank you guys for everything. Gotcha.